What is up, everyone, and especially all the new people? So since I'm coming close to 100, which is crazy, it was pretty quick, I wanted to do some special since this is our first milestone on this channel. So now I know my content's all over the place. We got Minecraft, we have had repo, CS. Now we're throwing in some random story time. It's starting to feel a little dramatic, but I want this channel to be more on me and not based on, oh, that's that guy that plays Minecraft, or that's that guy that plays Counter-Strike, or that's that guy that plays Reap. I'm trying to be more me. So I figured, let's kick off a little tradition. Every small milestone, I tell you guys a little bit more about myself, and today we are starting on every job I've ever had. Spoiler alert, it's a roller coaster of chaos. So let's start at the very beginning. Little hormonal me at 15. My first ever job was at this little farm store in the middle of nowhere. It was a real one-light town. I was 15, working the summer. I had to scoop ice cream, restock shelves, run the register, and pack asparagus. Yeah. Asparagus, little green piss stick plant. Now that may sound simple, but trust me, this was straight up child labor. I worked 3 days a week, 3 to 5 hour shifts, but on asparagus day, those 5 hours felt like a prison sentence. Imagine standing for hours, bundling frozen, soggy asparagus on a conveyor belt with your bare hands. It was like medieval torture method. The asparagus tips were so sharp, it felt like that denailing thing that's like in those like old torture methods for like rip off your fucking nail. Oh, and there goes any chance of anybody new seeing this video because I just said fuck. Love YouTube. My boss seemed sweet at first. I low-key only started working there because I had a crush on both of her daughters. But towards the end, she caught on that my spirit was slowly dying and started getting a little snappy. I went on vacation. While on my vacation, they scheduled me 1 day in 2 weeks. And I just quit. Text her from the beach like, I'm out. And I've never been back. Out of pure fear, she still remembers me. It's been 7 years and I still duck when we pass that farm. Like, nah, I don't want to be caught there. Please no. Now we're gonna get to the fun stuff. This is where my long, complicated relationship with Dunkin starts. This was the first of what turned into like 6 different Dunkins, so just a warning. But I started at 16, just got my license, needed gas money for my busted 2009 Nissan Sentra that I did inherit from my great-grandmother. Rest in peace, mama. But God bless that woman, she could not drive her the life of her. The car had parking pole paint and a brand new mirror that had just been replaced because she knocked that shit off. Anyway, Dunkin was actually fun at first. My friend Allison worked there. Allison stole my girlfriend freshman year of high school. Just want to bring that up. But yeah, we had good vibes. There was decent coworkers. I had this coworker, Natalie, who was 21 and weirdly wanted to hang out with me at 16, which at the time I didn't think was weird, but now I'm thinking weird. Maybe she was just lonely. Yeah, we'll just walk on past that one. I started in December of 2019, so when COVID hit, I had to take a little break for a bit because my parents made me. After a month, they said I can go back to work. So when I came back, they actually asked me to help at a different store. And that's where I met Manager D. She seemed cool at first. So yeah, I pretty much worked there with Manager D for about a month. And after a month or two, I got sent back to my OG Dunkin. The vibes had changed a little bit. My manager at the time had gone a little bit pissy every day, and we had some whack new hires being hired. After a while, my manager got replaced, and guess what? Manager D became our new manager. So I had this one coworker named Reese. He got promoted after being there for 4 months and had already slept with 2 of my coworkers. Meanwhile, I'd been busting my ass for over a year, and he was out here calling me out to new hires like I was the example of what not to do. Then we had new coworker Liza, who hated only me for some reason and somehow smelled like expired sushi in August. And then here we come Manager D, who seemed so nice until her Chick-fil-A attitude got fucking annoying every single day. Bro, she openly talked shit about everyone within earshot, then gaslighted us when we called her out. I just started to lose it. Towards the end of it, I hit up Natalie and asked her fiance if he could hook me up with a job. He said yes, took me on a ride along, said you're hired, told me to quit Dunkin. I put my 2 weeks in. I got through the 2 weeks, and then they ghosted me. Both Natalie and her fiance. So, fuck you, Nick. So I was jobless at 18 and too embarrassed to tell my parents that I didn't have a job. So what did I do? I cracked open my $5,000 18 savings account from my great-grandmother and burned $3,000 in a month. Some of the stuff I did, I went hiking and broke my toe and told my parents that I broke it missing a step at a client's house. Oh, let me bring it up. Natalie's fiance, who gave me a job, he did kitchen appliance repair. So I said I walked up someone's stairs, drove 4 hours to surprise meet expiry. He was busy that day, but I met his ex-girlfriend and another friend that I've been online friends with for, at that point, 7 years. On that trip, I racked up $90 in tolls from not understanding what Easy Pass is and how it works. And that's how my parents found out I had no job. So, me having no job and parents yelling at me, I applied to a Dunkin in Delaware, which was a big mistake. It was lower minimum wage, and I had to pay taxes for both Maryland and Delaware. I met some cool people, but the manager, Mike, manipulative as hell. I worked 12 to 14 hour shifts, 6 days a week, thinking I'd get promoted. I managed an entire store without the title or the pay. Got sent to a Shell gas station Dunkin', and everyone at other stores warned me it'd be terrible and that the people there are whack. Best people I ever worked with. Like, we used to drink vodka in our cars after shifts like idiots. I became friends with the gas station workers and they'd hook me up with like 50% views pods without IDing me. Eventually I just pretty much got burnt out and asked to go back to 40 hours, and Mike hit me with the, if you want to be manager, you gotta prove yourself. And I was like, nah, I proved myself 60 hours a week ago. I quit. After that, I somehow landed a job at a bank. Yes. A bank. Don't ask me how. A bank trusted me with money. Don't ask me how. It was boring and stressful, but shout out to my coworker. I'm just going to call her H. She is awesome. We became friends because at that time I was getting my nails done. Yeah, I'm fruity. I used to get my nails done literally every 2 weeks. Get off my dick. But I was going with a friend and that friend canceled on me, so I randomly called H while we were both working and I asked if she would go with me and I'd pay for it, and she went with me and we became good friends. She was actually my first weed dealer, and fun fact about her, she actually goes to this festival every single year, and for all 3 to 4 days that she's there, she's taking acid every day. So that's pretty cool. One time while working at the bank, my drawer was up $500. We never figured out how the fuck I was up $500. Like, after months of looking at cameras, nothing. No one ever found out how I was up $500. Ghost money just appeared. I should have just took it, honestly. After a little bit, I quit on my lunch break because my manager flipped on me for doing something she told me to do. Like, girl, be fucking for real. So after the bank, I just said, screw it. I went DoorDashing full time. I started getting more into photography. And honestly, that point in my life, it was great. It was a good 2 months. I got 500 followers on my car photography page in 4 months. I got invited to New York City for a weekend, completely paid for, with a car crew to just take pictures of them in New York City at like 3 in the morning. So then my mom, who is on my car, threatened to take my car away because I was putting too many miles on my car. Oh, I'd gotten a different car. Shout out to my 2019 Hyundai Veloster. Rest in peace. She lost her life last January. So guess what I did? I went back to another Dunkin', cause you know what? My 20 other Dunkins was not good enough. This one, honestly, it really did change my life. When I was there, I met Britt. You'll see him on my channel. He's also my roommate, so that's pretty cool. And Gabby, who hated me at first and bullied me so much that my therapist knew her by name. But you know, one night she invited me to smoke with her, And I was hesitant at first because I had a feeling she was going to do it just to try to get me high as fuck, just to ruin my life, which is kind of shitty. Ended up being the thing that we and her became friends, and we started smoking together more often. And we both had a bad day at work one day, and we just had a heart-to-heart, talked about our past, deep-ass conversations, and we became best friends. I have more stories about her, but we'll get to that another milestone. And I had a coworker who had a couple PCs that he was selling, and he sold me a $1,800 PC and Britt I think $1,600 PC, and that we could pay him weekly as we got paid. He got fired, so I ended up paying him $500. Britt paid him $0. So yeah, I still have that. That's my main PC right now. At Dunkin, I was eventually starting to get burnt out. Britton quit. Some of my other favorite coworkers had quit, such got fired. Me and my girlfriend and Britt were moving into an apartment together, and I needed more money, so I quit and became an Amazon delivery driver. Before anybody starts being, oh, you should have known Amazon delivery driver, blah 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 blah, peeing bottles all day, blah 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 blah, let me tell you, it is not that bad. My issues were with my management. I had no issues with the actual job. Now, let me bring this up now. Amazon, the way Amazon works is they hire other companies to drive, and then those companies rent out the vans from Amazon or other companies, and then Amazon pays them to deliver. So my company that I worked for was not Amazon, but I drove and delivered for Amazon. So let me make that clear also. At first, it wasn't bad. I was working 4 days a week, sometimes 5 to get overtime. They were 10-hour shifts. My routes were chill. They were in little rural areas. And then they switched our routes, and we became in more suburb. Okay, it's not the end of the world. Our package counts are higher up. We have to move a little bit quicker, but it's still not super bad. Then out of nowhere, we all get put in fucking Arlington, Virginia, and DC. I only had one DC day, but that day was on a Sunday, a weekend, in a tourist area during the Cherry Blossom Festival. Without any warning. I had 20-minute warning pretty much. Like, no. One of the big things that made me very concerned about who I was working for was I worked a 12-hour day one day, and they clocked me out at 10:30, and I wasn't actually done working till 10:45. Mind you, it was only 15 minutes, but they can't clock you out. That's illegal. So I just got kind of tired of it all. And they kept taking me off these Wednesdays for some reason because they were overstaffed. They didn't need me. So there was that. I would get put on standby pretty often, which standby means you show up to work, you help everyone else load up their trucks, and as long as no one calls out, you just go home after that. Which sounds nice. It does sound nice. Until you have the issue where you're getting put on standby and you're getting paid nothing. I was averaging out 60 hours every 2 weeks for my pay periods. I'm supposed to be getting 80. I'm 20 hours short. I cannot pay bills with that. I put in my 2 weeks. The day after I put in my 2 weeks, I got put on standby. And then the day after that, I got put on standby. Day after that, I worked. And then the day after that, it was that Wednesday, they called me and said, oh, you don't need to come in today. I want to bring up the day that I worked, the day previous to the day I was told I didn't need to come in. My supervisor talked to me one-on-one and was like, I really hate to see one of our top guys go. You're literally our number 6 best employee here. And, you know, if hours is a thing, I can make sure you get your hours. And I'm like, you know what? I'll think about it. I'll actually think about it. This motherfucker did it the next day. I was like, nah. I texted him, like, I'm not coming in. I'm not coming in ever again. I quit. And bro had the audacity to, like, not say anything. I talked to my girlfriend before I put the 2 weeks in and explained what was happening. I talked to my therapist. I talked to everyone I know, and everyone agreed that I should just quit. So yeah, I did. I quit. And now I'm DoorDashing to be able to pay my bills, and I'm focusing on what you're watching here and what you have watched. So yeah, that was pretty much my entire job history up to now. A bunch of Dunkins, some banking, too much trauma, and a few solid friendships that have lasted for longer than just working there. If you made it this far, you're a real one. I've got more stories, more chaos, and more dumb decisions. So make sure you're sub. I think next milestone I'll do a storytime video would be like 250 if and when we get there. Please share and help me get to that. Let me know down in the comments what was your worst job, and bye.